the country, the private sector who are out there doing a good job in assisting people. You need somebody to be coordinating all of that. And we need to ensure that when this is finished, Jamaica is standing, Sister Tanya. We have an economy that can stand up. We have the General, Professor Ralston Ayman. Good evening, Ralston.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Where are you going, man?
Yeah, where are you, brother?
A whole heap of things to talk about this evening, Ralston. The head of many of the Caribbean states visited Jamaica yesterday, along with members of the multilaterals. They were all here yesterday. You want to tell the people, some of the people who were here yesterday?
Well, we had the president of Ghana, Irfan Ali, we had Mia Motley, and we had the president of the IDB, Ilan Goldfan, here, and another prime minister. Not remember his name.
The prime minister of Grenada was here.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yes.
Deacon, yes. Deacon was also here, yeah.
Yes.
Saying that they'll fully support the effort in Jamaica because all the Caribbean countries have this vulnerability to natural catastrophes. So we have to take a regional approach to this problem.
How does this look, though, on a prime minister and a party who don't really believe in regionalism?
Well, it looks very bad, and he should be ashamed of himself because here it is that the region has to come to Jamaica's assistance. Mia Motley indicated that she would help them in their discussions with the multilateral agencies, and the President of Ghana should help them in terms of the housing, roofing and all of those things.
What do you mean the Prime Minister of Barbados will help us with the multilateral? We need help with the multilaterals?
Yeah, man, she has a whole lot of clout with the multilateral agencies based on her competence and everything. We have a finance minister who is extremely incompetent.
We have a finance minister who is what?
Extremely incompetent. Just for your... Yeah, and the JLP shows wherever them come from can challenge me. The dollar just closed at 161.96, almost 162, despite all the intervention that we have been doing since the start of this year. Because this morning the IMF says that Jamaica has not approached them for any assistance, although it stands ready to assist.
You said the Jamaican dollar closed at $161.96?
Yes, despite the 770 million in intervention since the start of this year and the mopping up of 145.5 billion in Jamaican dollar liquidity.
So
that was almost a 30-cent drop today after the IMF reported that no approach was made by Jamaica to them. The same thing that them doing in 2008 with the Great Recession.
But why wouldn't the Jamaican government, or before I get to that question, let me simplify this thing. Why would Jamaica need to contact the IMF?
Simple. The IMF's job is to provide balance of payment support. So when you have problems related to foreign exchange, then you go and check the IMF. The IMF signal is also a signal of confidence to the international community. Now, if your tourism sector is falling out, if your BPO sector is falling out, and if you have to be importing more food, more raw material, more capital goods, then it means that the shortage of foreign exchange will be exacerbated. So you need the IMF backstop in order to stabilize the situation. If you don't do that, then people run for cover and put the dollar under pressure. Simple.
If the IMF had come out and said, we have been in discussion with Jamaica since the hurricane and we will stand by Jamaica, you think that would have done something?
We would have seen an appreciation in the value of the dollar because that would inspire a whole lot of confidence.
Hold on. Let's get this right. So you're saying that because the IMF came out and said Jamaica has not contacted us since Hurricane Melissa, the dollar dropped by 30 cents?
Yeah, that created a whole lot of lack of confidence and panic because people are saying that means to them people are sensible. Plus, we have the track record that they did it before.
Explain to people what speculation does to the foreign exchange market, Ralston.
Speculation causes the value of the dollar to drop because it creates pressure on the dollar. And in order to prevent that drop from being steep, the central bank has to intervene. The central bank's interventions now become predictable so that can't stop the dollar from dropping again.
Has the central bank intervened yet for this week?
But I'm going to tell you today that they are going to do it tomorrow based on what happened today.
So they have
I am
not
predicting that.
So they have not intervened yet for the start of this week.
No.
But Ralston, the Professor Iman, is predicting that they are going to intervene tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah, based on what happened today.
You know, Raleigh, a whole heap of things you and I talk, you and Simon talk. And when we talk these things, one of the things I realize is that the people them come and them attack me and them attack you. Them say you drink rum, them say me a idiot. But I am challenging them this evening. As soon as you challenge the arguments that we are putting forward and beat the arguments, then call we anything. But until you can challenge the argument, take away on yourself.
Yeah, man.
Take away on yourself.
Yeah, man.
Beat up the argument first, and then we will present ourselves for you to beat us up. But if you can't beat up the argument, go sleep. Raleigh.
Mm-hmm.
So, we have not contacted the IMF.
No.
And that means we have not contacted the IDB or the World Bank either.
Well, we saw Mr. Goldfarb here yesterday. We saw the hapless finance minister standing up beside him down where they went in Westmoreland yesterday. So we have no news from the IDB or the World Bank that they have been contacted. And the IMF and those people work together. So it is clear that no serious discussions are taking place. And that is almost 3 weeks after.
Why Raleigh was Parliament cancelled today?
Well, I don't know. Maybe they are doing something else. Maybe they have cabinet retreat or whatever. But I don't, they are treating the Parliament very shabbily.
But if there was a cabinet retreat, wouldn't that be announced?
Yeah, man.
So, at this time...
It's part of the whole sloppy approach to the problem, man. I'll say that without any apology. Very sloppy. And it's a rewrite of what happened in 2008.
Raleigh, we finished the third quarter.
Mm.
Do you have the food bill for up onto the third quarter now? How much?
No, starting hasn't released that yet, but we are sure that it is going to increase. And it's going to be increased going forward. The BOJ just issued a... Yeah, go ahead.
No, man, you go ahead.
The BOJ just issued a release saying that the hurricane will have a negative impact on the economy. Many people, particularly those in the Western Belt, won't be able to pay back their loans on time, and that the number of non-performing loans in the banking system will increase. And CB also said the same thing.
How many people?
Common sense.
How many people are going to lose their job or have lost their job down in the West? Bahia Principe close, so they're closing indefinitely, which will trigger redundancy. How many other hotels down there? What happened to the BPO buildings down there in the West? How many people will lose jobs?
BPO people were out of work about 2 weeks ago, so yeah.
20,000. And somebody's telling me that it's 1,800 from Bahia Principe.
Okay, right. So
what will happen now? What will happen now to those people who have loan payments?
They'll have to reschedule their loans. The banks will have to give them breaks. That is why the BOJ is out front telling us that the level of non-performing loans in the banking system will increase.
And we can't hear nothing from the government.
Right.
Have we heard how much money they have spent so far on the hurricane relief?
We haven't heard anything from the finance minister of Jamaica.
Nothing.
So we wonder what PR for. This could happen nowhere else in the world, and that is why the people are panicking and buying the dollar, because they must say, we can't believe we have a national economic crisis and we haven't heard a word from the finance minister as to what she is doing. And we haven't heard a word from the IMF as to whether they have been approached. In fact, the IMF is saying, yeah, we're here. And I remember that is what they did in 2008. In 2008, the IMF created what we call a precautionary facility and said, boy, come check with. Even if you don't need the money, come check and keep it in your drawer. Them never go. Them say them never go into the IMF was need and necessary or appropriate. And when them run down the country, unemployment was at 13%, the reserves up before $1 billion. The current account deficit jumped to $13 billion, 13.2%. That's when them approach the IMF. And in discussions with the IMF, them fired Central Bank Governor Derek Latibody, the most experienced man in relation to IMF at that time. And then them go IMF and take a full agreement, take the money up front, and couldn't do that what them come do. So we got locked out of the international capital market. So they have a very bad track record when it comes on to them thing there.
Is it Ralston that they are of the opinion that they might have enough to do what they need to do?
Well, if they are of that opinion, that would be a remarkably flagrant error because they don't have enough to do what is necessary to do.
Are you sure?
They're talking about 1.1, 1.7 trillion in damage.
Are you sure they don't have enough, Raleigh?
Yeah, man. Sure. We're not asking.
Sometimes I want you to be wrong, yes, man. You would imagine how I want you to be wrong.
Them can't tell me nothing because in 2013 and everything, me and Dr. Phillips fixed the problem. I'm afraid to say that me was a right-hand man. Yeah? So, them little youth here, none of them never in politics. Nigel Clark was in politics. Yeah? Andrew Wallace was the leader of government business at that time. Them things are bigger than him. Yeah? So, them are come down and come go on like say them know them are doing them things. Yeah? Them don't know what them doing.
Why? There's a clip I want to play, Raleigh, and it's something me and you talk about with you. But I see the news carry it again, and I'm wondering why they're giving this credence. Listen to this.
Mm-hmm.
As Jamaica ramps up recovery efforts following Hurricane Melissa, local government representatives are calling for clearer communication.
With recovery now dominating the national agenda, municipal leaders say something is missing from the conversation. An honest update on Jamaica's net international reserves. At least 2 municipal leaders believe the reserves should provide a critical buffer in the aftermath of the hurricane. But they're questioning why no one in central government is openly discussing the status of the fund.
I'm somewhat concerned in that to date, I have not heard anybody from central government talking about the $6.128 billion in our reserve. I'm hearing members of parliament on both sides of the fence saying that monies were promised, but they have not seen it. So my question is, while it is that the JIS reported on November 5th that we would need approximately $7 billion to bring back Jamaica to some sort of stability. Is it that we have enough? Why we're not hearing about the NIR? Is it that we're waiting until all our external partners or donor agencies, NGOs have completed their donation before we start spending from the NIR in a time when we're braced for several other things apart from regular infrastructural problems because we're seeing a health crisis?